What's going on, guys? Today we're going to go over the biggest mistakes in moving, either with a mover or without. We're going to go through just around a top 10 list of the mistakes we see firsthand that we've heard of and so on, but the top ones for you to just make sure that you avoid. So first off, I think it's obvious to be waiting too long, right? We do not want to waste our time and make sure that you get your move in. You want to make sure you get your date and time. So booking as far ahead as possible is obviously ideal. If you kind of book last minute and you forget about it, you won't get that date most likely or time unless you just get lucky. In that sense, just go buy a lottery ticket. But I would say you got to book your move around 3 weeks in advance at least, and then it'll be as easy as possible. You won't have to stress about finding that mover and going through that process, but just getting it as far away as possible. As soon as you know you're moving, go over, do your research, and find a mover. And then number 2 would be understanding how much stuff you have. Okay, everyone has more stuff. Okay, you do have more. Okay, I would guarantee you go through all your stuff, you're walking through your house, and you think, okay, I have this, and you go to tell people how much you have, or you just kind of ask in your head, I guarantee you have more. Okay, you do have more things in your house, big pieces, small pieces, little things you forget about, you will find more, and that leads down the rabbit hole of underquoted jobs for the movers. When you do get a mover, because the time overruns, there's extra fees, and there's more stress on move day when you keep finding things, all right? So keep that in mind that you do have more. You will always have more than you think. Number 3, kind of obvious, but not at the same time. Okay, we'd have to declutter. Okay, declutter all of your things before your move. Because what happens when you don't declutter, you'll find things that you haven't used in years and that you want to end up or tossing after the move. But there's a pretty much rule of thumb to follow here, is that if you wouldn't pay to ship it, then you shouldn't pay to move it across town. Don't move it, okay? You would not pay to ship it across a country. Don't move it across town. Don't pay for it. Get rid of it. And it makes the things last, saves you time and saves money. We like that, right? Everyone likes saving money. Less things, shorter time, shorter move, less money. Packing wrong. Okay, make sure boxes are closed, and you want to make sure they're somewhat packaged as you're going. Things are packed the night before, not the day of, while the movers are there. And then that can make you an absolute nightmare that day of when you keep finding things that you haven't packed. And there's a kind of another rule of thumb here for this one would be to kind of pack like an exclusive bag, your specialty items. So things like your phone chargers, multiple phones, any electronics you think you're going to need on that day or until you can get things unpacked. You want to have the literal essentials that you would think you need for that day. So that varies for everyone, but make sure you have a special items box set aside and everything else is completely packed. Number 5 is a big one. Big one that is missed is forgetting the building rules. Okay, so there's things that can happen. So if you were in a condo, an apartment, shared place, whatever it is where you might have to abide by anything else, like for say the elevator is not booked. That's a big problem. How are you going to move things if there's nowhere to move it to? Okay, things like no elevator, no parking. Sometimes that's a big one where the trucks can't get in there to move it because nothing's out of the way. There's no spot for them. And then make sure you have your move in and out times confirmed with the building you're moving into or out of. Either or, make sure that the owner, whoever is directing that, knows. So give them a call in advance and then a reminder so that they know. Okay. Number 6, a bit of a smaller one, but it's ideal. The good movers will pack your stuff, but to protect your furniture even more, I would say just wrap up big items. So not just boxes, but you got your couches. Use your mattress bags to just protect it from being dirty. Not just protection the damage, but make sure your stuff stays clean. So when you get to their place, you can just unwrap. You can just unload and then unwrap. Done. Simple process. Okay. Make sure that stuff stays clean if you can. Couch wrap, extra protection for your TVs, floor and wall padding, things like that, so we don't lead to dirt and moisture damage, rips and scuffs, anything, so on and so forth. Okay, another one. You don't want to choose who's cheapest. Okay, we see that a lot. We know you're on a budget. You want to book find the best mover, someone you can count on, that is reliable. So you want to do research on the company, okay? You do not want to just do the cheapest, because then your things will get damaged and then you cost more money because you got to replace those things, or the movie company doesn't refer you for that because you went with the cheapest company, so they're not even going to afford to do that. So make sure that you don't go with the cheapest mover, you go with the best mover. Do your research, give calls, get your quotes, and obviously the price is obviously going to be a factor for sure, and we understand that, but you want to find the competitive rates, find the happy medium, go with the best reliable moving company so that your things that's the smoothest day on move day, and it's stress-free, because stress is going to cost you a lot more than the dollar signs. Okay, get your quotes and work them out. Do your research on the moving companies. We would say we don't want you guys to say try to do it by yourself. Okay, big mistake. Trying on your own. All right, big mistake, because it takes a lot of physical toll. You're at risk of injury because we know you have heavy stuff, or your friends that you hire for a case of beer and some pizza, then they get hurt. They're not very happy with you. The speed of things is definitely slowed down, right? Speed of it from no experience is just gonna take forever. It's gonna be lots of trips back and forth. Things won't be as safe in the truck, and you have no one else to blame but yourself. You think you're saving money, but in the end, with all the pizza and beer, the time spent, and the damages you have to pay for that very special fragile item that you just love passed down from generations is just completely in shambles. It's really not worth it, and you better to just find, like we said, the best mover, not the cheapest, but the best mover. What we want you to do in the end here to avoid these moving mistakes is to just move smart. Use this list, go back through it, check it off when you know you're going to move next, get ahead of the time, and you're really here to make sure your stuff is safe. So you get that company that finds it. Obviously us, Fast Track, would like to promote ourselves because we have the reliability and we have the reviews to back it up for the affordability and the reliability, making sure things get there safe, along with 24-hour customer service. So making sure that you get the right company, but you do this checklist on your own, right? So we have our own little checklist to go through as the company, but this is your checklist. This is what you need to know, okay? On you, these lists, do it yourself, so back yourselves up, okay? It's a stressful time. The moving company should be taking the stress off of you, but if you can double down on yourselves and you're committed to that decision, then you know what you're getting into and what you're getting out of it, so on and so forth. So do not make these moving mistakes and so forth. Learn from them, from other people's mistakes, just like us humans do. Instead of experiencing it firsthand, let's just take our word for it as we see it all the time, and really just make sure you go through that checklist. If you want to avoid all that, you know the people that are doing it right. Since we made this checklist, we have plenty more ideas to where it can go wrong, so we know how to do it right. Make sure you want the best mover. Get Fast Track to give you the next job. 705-706-2080 is the phone number to call to get a free quote, completely free. Okay, we like free, saves you time, takes maybe 5 minutes. Okay, super quick, super simple. Go through our website, go through the processes step by step, fill out the questionnaire at fasttrackmuskoka.ca. or a free quote today.